Hi, I'm Yeonjin Kim. I am a filmmaker artist based in New York City, and I'm very happy to do this project here today. So here I'm presenting Korean quilt making, jogakbo, which is traditional quilt making in 18th century, 19th century, which I adapted into my own practice using plastic bags rather than fabrics. But here I'm using only fabrics because it's more general thing to use rather than plastic bag. Also, it's easier to handle. So basically, jogakbo is what people made in 18th century in Korea. They use scrap fabric to make bojagi, which is a wrapping cloth, to wrap gifts or some food and stuff like that. Especially when the daughter of the family is getting married, they wrap things in this bojagi and send it to the husband's family. In old days, they didn't have a lot of fabric to make a big piece of bojagi, so they use scrap fabric for poor people to make something beautiful instead of using a living, just humble life. So that's what we'll be doing in the park today. I'm gonna introduce how to make jogakbo using traditional stitch, also more contemporary stitch as well if it's a younger audience. So that's what we'll be doing.
My name is Stephen McCann, and I'll be reading today from my novel Pathways, a story about a biracial young woman and single parent struggling to raise a disabled child suffering from Angelman syndrome, or AS, a neurogenetic disorder. My story begins with my heroine, Angie Turner, working in the bargain store of her hometown Paterson, New Jersey, and attending community college there. One evening, working late, she meets Fareed, a newly arrived Pakistani immigrant, when he enters the bargain store searching for clothing items. They make friends, date, fall in love, and suddenly Fareed is taken away one night by immigration officers because of a flaw in his visa status. Angie soon discovers she's pregnant. She finishes school at the community college and begins work as a court officer after giving birth to a baby she names Farida. She completes undergraduate studies online, attends law school at night, and becomes a successful Manhattan attorney.
Hi, my name is Hannes Bent, and I'm one of the artists here of the Korea Art Forum event Shared Dialogue, Shared Space. I'm hosting the Metanoia, Soothing Deep Breathing experience. Metanoia comes from transformative experience in one's lives, especially inspired by all the experiences, all the cultural influences we have. So I'm just kind of sharing and channeling what I've been experienced in my life, especially with mindfulness practices, creative practices. So it's really accumulation and a sharing of cultural practices here that hopefully can lead to some insights, some novel experiences, some new sensing of the world and oneself, and as part of this wonderful collective public art experience.
Hi, my name is Zaid, and I am serving tea today. I bring this tea from where I'm originally from. I'm from Bangladesh, and here at Inwood Park I am offering iced tea. So this is like a fusion because this tea is usually brewed with milk and sugar, but as a new immigrant to the United States I got introduced to iced tea, so I'm doing this experimental fusion type of thing. When I'm offering it to visitors, I am asking something in exchange. It could be anything, it could be a monetary donation, but I usually encourage them to offer me something else, and then I request them to write it down in my book with their name and the date. So it becomes like an alternative transaction. And then I talk about the history of tea and how it shapes culture, like colonialism discovered tea in China and brought it to South Asia, and how it spread across the world through the East India Company. I talk about these histories. I'm hoping that will spark something in the participant, and they will also share something that they know. So we basically have an exchange. So my interest is in that shaping of the cultures through this colonial history and how it changes our practices and everything.
My name is Sherman Shaw. I'm a visual artist from Taiwan, and this specific workshop that I provided here with the Korean Art Forum is really called painting watercolor in the park, like fill the park with watercolor. So what I wanted to do is like I provided you those equipments or like brushes, different Eastern calligraphy brush. I wish you try to feel the movement of this park, the nature, and just basically painting on paper. It allows you to produce different feelings that you tour the nature. And besides that, I wish that just by learning about the calligraphy stroke, like you take this to another level to learn about the Eastern culture, and together you combine that to what you feel about the visual in front of you.